Ladies and gentlemen, mwachisabye era ntuuse kanchibawe. With respect, Mpuuga is going to be roasted. Yabadde amaze okuvuma okulumba okukakanya David Lewis Rubongoya. Ekyazeeko is a sight to behold. Here we go.
So, I want to speak to Nachori in Lango. Actually, we have been approaching so many people. Some lined and chose to run as an event. Others joined. We actually even declined people who were willing to join us. And that's a natural law.
Mr. Rubongoya, don't you find it rather amazing or rather intriguing that a new party has been able to make inroads across the country? And what does this mean for the grip that NUP has had as the leading opposition?
First of all, I think I need to respond to what has been said here. First of all, I did not want to mention the Honorable Mpuuga here because as far as we are concerned, he's in the past. It is Honorable Donga Oto who brought up his name, and I was duty bound to respond. And he's just making innuendos, crazy innuendos. He has a case to answer before the people of Uganda about a service award that he gave to himself, when the National Unity Platform gave him an opportunity. And that is what caused him problems. I think that is something he needs to explain to the people of Uganda than make ridiculous claims about NUP and all that. If he has any evidence, let him bring it forth. Than just make those kinds of ridiculous allegations. But like I said, I wouldn't want to exchange with him because, Simon, what we're dealing with are very, very important matters of national importance. We have a nation to deliver from the mess it finds itself in. General Museveni has mastered the art of, that people use.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God. Chichichino. Olabye face ya Mpuuga chefuuse. Alo, wetegese tusimbule. Oh my God. Nina kakawa. Funa kakawa oba kachai. Tea oba chonna. Funa koga yoba konywa. Tugenda kusimbula. My. And yes, indeed, Ogambuti ukansibentu ulibulunjize Mordecai Morisa. Size wana muna mugwanga United States of America kuweleza. Nze omuteke omugalatia owekitiibwa munnange olwaleero naye yasazeewo okubeera nga atwegattako era omulengera atuddaawo. Respect. Tugenda mu respondingako. Oh my God. Give me a fire extinguisher. Oh my Lord. This was a sight to behold. Mpuuga buchanga bamutenda. Are you ready to simbule? Subscribe inga wano katusimbule. All right, let's do this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, mweno conversation chenjagala ojjukire. I need to put away this cap. Nchije mu frame. All right, wano chijja kwa bulungi. Chenjagala ojjukire one. NUP obudde ebumalira bwe bagamba obudde ebumalira kuba opposition. Kijjukire kuba ogenda kukyetaaga bweno conversation. Ekyokubiri. NUP evuma obe enyooma abantu. Kijjukire nakyo. Mweno conversation baleese abantu bonna ababadde ku show kujjako omubaka Patrick Nsamba. Ye yabadde atalumba NUP bonna ba odongoto balina analyst gwe baleese. Fake is not analyst at all. Zero. Mbu analyst. Mbu amana analyst. Alinganga omanyigayi bamuyitani Wakida. Bamuyita Wakida? Eyategekanga simanya polls mu Uganda. Egalaga Museveni. Ebitundu ebiwagira Museveni byeyongedde. yamaliza alonda Museveni. Just fake people, just pretenders. But yeah, the analysts, they are not analysts at all. They do not zero. Then about Dongoto, balese ba Ofono Pondo, ba Mathias Mpuuga. Na ye David Lewis Rubongoya yabakutekanywa. Atandika yogera ebigambo bino. Njagala biwulirize. Omulamwa gwa NUP guli kuchi era kuchi yabaddeko. Listen.
A state that has tried to nominate many candidates.
Abadde boogera kuba candidates NUP be nominating zenga beewaana nti wano NUP tesimbye omuntu onaze kuba namunigina. David Lewis Rubongoya agamba, can we question the circumstances under which abantu abo abatalina babavuganya aba NRM engeri bakikoze? Tuli mu kunenya baneeno NUP betasimbyewo. Do we know Anita Amonga maliza to kubanga ali independent oba Thomas Tayebwa n'abalala? No one wants to interrogate that. They all direct their ire towards NUP.
Not just at parliamentary level, but at the local government level. And, before then, we had youth elections, which are part of the local governments, of the wider local governments. There have been many challenges, which, are well known to the population. You saw that from the youth elections to the local government.
Ladies and gentlemen, onaso posing. David Lewis Rubongoya agenda kumala ebitundu 9 ku 10 noshoja agenda ogira byonna ogimaleyo sawa kugikola yonna abadde ya sawa 2. Ebitundu 9 mu 9 ku 10 ng'obusungu n'okulumba akwolekeza NRM. Banna opposition abali mu studio ebitundu 9 mu 9 ku 10 mu biki bye boogera baboolekeza NUP. Now you tell me.
Elections and now parliamentary elections, many of our candidates were blocked from contesting and, using flimsy excuses and, the state trying to use all manner of tactics to ensure that the National Unity Platform does not have as many candidates. For the youth elections, it was both during nomination exercises and the voting itself when they raided polling stations and did all manner of chaos. For parliamentary elections, I can cite a few examples. You saw what happened.
Agenda maaso n'okunyonnyola ku bica bye baakoze bafrustratinga batya NUP okulaba nga tesimba bantu mu bifo ebimu okugifrustratinga obutagiwa nsibi zigigwana okubeera nga etuukiriza byetuteekeddwa okutuukiriza ng'ekibiina ky'ebyobufuzi n'ensonga eddala ezigwa mu kkowa eryo. Tukati nga tugenda mu studio wabeerawo balina ono oyo analyst. Very fake. Listen, kankweku kumu ku byayogera mbu.
We've been working with
fake analysts
who we've been discussing with and talking with our comrades. So all the other
Question here.
You say you are working with other people like PFF to the enemy, but Honorable Semuju here has a candidate from NUP in his constituency, somebody called Musisi, and even for the road mayor of Kampala, NUP has a candidate against them. So what are those candidates doing? Are they just escorting
Gamba mukolagana n'ebiina binene bikuduluvuganya kyokka mwasimbyewo abantu. Usually bakibuuza post nagiteeka nnyo nagiteeka ku Facebook naye yatulatenga nnyo abantu bangi. Babuuza nnyo NUP lwaki musimba omuntu mu kifo ekirimu opposition already. N'obagamba kati ate mmwe lwaki musimba omuntu mu kifo ekirimu opposition. Ekifo kya Joel Ssennyonyi kyalimu Nakawa East West East bimbuzabuza. PFF yasimbawo gwe bayita Ivan Bowe. Ekifo kirimu lead of opposition bakireesemu omuntu. Kati wano babuuza lwaki mwasimbye omuntu mu kifo ekirimu already wa PFF. Abantu basobola okukolaga listen sijja kubya
The incumbents.
the incumbents or you are serious to unseat them from their seats?
against some of those candidates does not take away the fact that we are pursuing the same objective of changing our country. The main objective is to remove General Museveni and his decadent system that has brought our country to its knees. Our presidential candidate, the Honorable Sentamu Kyagulanyi, today was meant to be in Karenga, but he could not get there on time because of the terrible state of roads. So, if that is the situation that is happening in the country, healthcare, education and all that, we can come back to talk about the parliamentary seats you're talking about, but the main objective is to bring about a change that every Ugandan can be, proud of. So we are a political party, and a political party which definitely called for expression of interest, and people express interest in all positions. And we could not ring fence.
Abantu bandyagadde okwesimba tugamba abagala okwesimba mu kifo kino mujje kati babagala NUP sitegera the largest opposition political party tesimba w'omuntu mu kifo. Then lwaki tebabuuza oyo guy already ali mu studio ali no opposition gwe bayita Ibrahim Ssemujunganda ye nga tamubuuza nti lwaki mu PFF mwasimbye omuntu ku Joel Ssennyonyi, lwaki takibuuza amuli awo.
Certain positions and say, you know, these ones are not going to field candidates and all that. So yes.
David Lewis Rubongoya yayanukudde gwe bayita Odongoto yabadde agamba mbu ye ayagala kubeera analyst, mbu ye ayina kye bayita I have two things now my reasoning is rooted in two things. One is political philosophy and political science.
Know what I'm talking about? Because for heaven's sake, would be a little more.
Odongoto has a question for you.
Listen.
No, I just have a very honest submission.
Mojina very honest submission, Otyo.
I think at 48 years, I should be a little more frank.
I think at 48 years, I should be more frank. You shouldn't be frank because of your age. You just have to be frank. If you are raised by reasonable, honest, frank people, you're going to be reasonable, you're going to be honest, you're going to be frank all your life. I think at 40, 80 or 49, whatever, I need to be frank. Honesty, esinzira ku myaka ng'otegeerawo byagenda okwogera before.
There is a lot more deception in NUP than what the eyes can see.
Waliwo obulimba bungi mu NUP than the eyes okusinga abantu basobola okulaba.
I know what I'm talking about. Because for heaven's sake, Alan said...
Now, Agamba, I know what I'm talking about. He goes on not to tell you. He is going to allege, or Alan Sewanyana, because he doesn't actually say, okay, the deception was here or there.
Sewanyana nearly died in prison. And he comes out and the party card is given to someone's girlfriend.
Now, Agamba nti card, Giovanni Badeba Sewanyana, Bajua girlfriend w'omuntu omusimanyi girlfriend wayogera, but the insinuation either ategeeza mu girlfriend wa David Lewis Rubongoya oba Ssennyonyi oba Bobi Wine kyagezaako okugamba. I really do not care. Insinuation ya kisiru naye agambye, oh, I need to be honest, I need to be frank at 48. Then if you are 48, why don't you say ono girlfriend wono vague? I'm going to be vague, but at the same time claim to be at 48, I'm going to be frank. Shut up, Odongoto.
This is not how you run a political party.
This is not your political party. Please go run your own political party.
I have been in several street battles with Honorable Mathias Mpuuga while the leader of opposition. NUP pushes him out of position.
He was caught in a corruption scheme. He wasn't pushed out. He was caught in a corruption scheme. He admitted him alongside 4 apologists of Museveni. They awarded themselves money. When he was caught, he was asked to return back that money, apologize to the people, and he'll be forgiven, actually retain his positions of leadership in the political party. This you're doing is called revisionist history, engaging in revisionist history. He wasn't pushed. He was actually given some sort of a grace period to talk to his heart of hearts to see whether he can change his mind. Now, because he's mastered manipulation and gaslighting, you think, oh, Mpuuga is in the right. Absolutely not.
Of his position because the fear is more prominent than Bobi Wine.
No! What do you smoke, Odongoto? No one is afraid that Mpuuga is more prominent than Bobi Wine. I can't. This is what I tell you. Omuntu kasita agamba omanyizo ndi wa mazima. Omanyirawo si wa mazima. Owa mazima takyeyogerako. Omanyizo ndi mugezi. No! Omanyizo ndi wa kitiibwa. Oyo aba talina kitiibwa. Ebigambo ebisoose okuva mu kamwa ku myaka 48 gye nnyina ekirabika nteekeddwa okubeera ow'amazima. Agamba, they pushed out Mpuuga because they're afraid that he's more prominent than Bobi Wine. Down the head, have you seen rallies ezitwekeddwa Mpuuga? He hardly even met where ateke Uganda, whatever, Thanksgiving ceremony. Not even people within his own constituency. Tebaliwo. What do you talk about prominency? He said he was going to go on national consultations on whether he should form a political party. Where did you see these people pulling crowds? Bobi Wine is pulling. What prominence are you talking about? You charlatan, liar.
Ibrahim is one MP. I would rather an election, but not Semuju. And then find Noop, fund people day and night to get Semuju out of parliament. So this raises credibility.
Look at the face of David Lewis Rubongoya. Relaxed, restrained, calm, and just smiling. I love that.
Ability in the eyes of some of us that what the hell is Noop in this Uganda?
What the hell is Noop? You're not a member of the NUP. You recently made a video saying Ugandans to cave in, to capitulate, to wave a white flag, to give up. Oh, I'm not going to vote because I've seen that things are not going to change. Then you ask, what the hell is Noop? Noop is a collection of folks. Some of them could actually be folks who are just pushing for positions. Before. They're there for change. But besides that, the vast majority of Ugandans are behind the national platform because of the ideas. What the hell is Noop? Who are you to ask?
We need answers.
Look at his face. We need answers. Okwefula serious kuno ngabya yogede temuli, you know. Roasting is coming, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Rubongoya, over to you.
Again, like I said, this country unfortunately has so many, people you see moving around, and but their objectives are well known, and nations sadly are meant to derail whatever gains the people of Uganda are making in terms of trying to redeem themselves from the mess that we find ourselves. So what I want to say is that when the party puts out a process and people contest in that process, you go in that process knowing that you're going to either emerge victorious or not emerge victorious. Any serious person who can think will realize some of our
any serious person who can think of Mpuuga
incumbents made it, others did not make it. Some newcomers made it, others did not make it. So I don't want anybody to be misleading the public to say that there are people who should be untouchable.
Remember, they mentioned Mpuuga. David Lewis Rubongoya is choosing not to even talk about Mpuuga for now.
When you put out a process and say, come and participate in this process, then it has to be open, it has to be transparent, it has to be fair, and that is what we follow. In NUP, we don't bring first positions. We say that we are going to give 60% based on the ground survey, we are going to give 40% based on the vetting committee, and whoever you are, if you do not make it through that system, unfortunately, cannot just grant you the card. Because what I think Honorable Odongo calls us is to be corrupt, is not to follow the principles that we put in place. Because if we put a system in place, we must follow it. That is the kind of country we want to build, where we stand on principle. You've just talked about the Honorable Mathias, who is in the studio, and everybody knows you're talking about here and all that. There was a clear issue which we considered extremely wrong, which we
exactly
considered immoral, and it was out there in the public. Everybody knows what that issue was. So when you come here and you start saying, because what are you talking about?
Like he's baffled, saying, oh, because of his prominence. What prominence? What? Tell me any politician in Uganda, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here and you support of Mpuuga, okay, but your prominence, I don't even want to put Bobi Wine and Mpuuga in the same sentence. The prominence of Bobi Wine is way, you cannot even imagine. What was the prominence of Mpuuga during the emergence of Bobi Wine as a character? Where was he? Where was he? Where was Mpuuga when Bobi Wine was winning the Chadondo East Member Parliament by-election? Where was he? Where was he? Because you would say that it is Mpuuga who actually influenced the victory of Bobi Wine in 2017. He was nowhere to be seen. So you cannot talk about Mpuuga's, they're afraid of Mpuuga's prominence. Where is this prominence?
Appoint Bobi Wine's brother to be a candidate in one constituency. It's like the same system we are fighting. It's the same system we are replacing.
No, you're not replacing nothing. Oh, the system we are fighting is the same system we are replacing. You're not member of the NUP. Like, you're not member of the NUP. You've been opposing NUP since its inception. Oh, it's the same system we are replacing. What? Who are you? Where do you belong? Are you member? You've never identified as part of the NUP. Not at all. So for you to claim, oh, the same system we are fighting is the same system we are replacing, it is a self-importancy. You're not part. You've been opposing this. He actually went on to say, Mweno show, I believe, and I hate charlatans like this man, hypocrites. Oh, I think the genuine opposition I see, it is actually the PFF. That's what he said. But he won't join the PFF. He's just going to go on and masquerade as an independent. I am a political scientist and I'm a political philosopher, and sometimes I may make some sweeping statements to make sure that I maintain my relevance, my sort of political relevance that is on a bullet speed of reeling into tatters. Where does he belong? Andrew Mwenda. But if you tell me that your opposite, the current opposition, you know how speedy he talks. The current opposition is so defiant, it is so extreme, it is blah, blah, blah. If you care for me, Mujisha Muntu to be, if he had a political party, I would join him. Then Mujisha Muntu forms the Alliance for National Transformation. Guess where? The Andrew Mwenda and the type go. Muhozki Nerugaba. They always have these mega excuses. Deflection upon deflection. Gaslighting people and pretending like they're sort of special. If PFF is the true opposition, when is Odongo to joining it? He's just an opportunist.
He helped here.
Well, Honorable Mpuuga has...
Ladies and gentlemen, Mpuuga has been walked into a trap with eyes open. He doesn't know, maybe. Here we go.
Been mentioned, in all fairness, you need to make a rebuttal to...
There's nothing to rebut about. Mr. Rubongoya knows the level of fraud in which he is sitting.
Rubongoya amanyi obufere obuli
personally, and I'm not about that kind of altercation. He knows himself. He knows so well. He knows how much.
Agwa mukatego, ladies and gentlemen.
Both are individuals of the party, as a party and as peace advocates, what they have been doing, public funds. He knows the kind of fraud.
These people claim to know. Oh, Rubongoya knows the kind of fraud, the deception, and blah, blah, blah. I know. When are you telling the public? Because when are you telling the public? Come out and say, hey, here's the thing. It's like saying, manyo muntu asanjaga abantu abatechiro. Ese manyo muntu ajjanate maka abantu emitwe. Ekiro mugendo zuka ng'omwana wa muntu afudde. Nti mutubulire akadde tukiwa akadde ajja kumanyika. Then you do not know. Shut up.
And the extortion of NUP members that he has been involved in personally. Actually, if I were police, I would open an open file to investigate.
Abakuwa police singa ya guddo musango ku NUP ayingira mu katego katamanyi genda maso Romushana Mpuuga.
Get that party, but we are here to discuss progression, and I hesitate to discuss the past of Mr. Rubongoya because he knows so well that things that I would rather let the public eventually judge him upon. And for him to engage with me personally, I don't know why he didn't come here. I saw him around here. Why did he come and sit here? Do you choose to sit away in a curtain and start speaking from a curtain?
Now, that is some sort of demoralizing language. Oh, did he decide to sit in a curtain? Mpuuga, I welcome you to something called remote interviews. Baso anokunzija ku interview nga ntudde wane wange nga goli mu studio. He's not sitting in a curtain. Nebya ayogera obusungwe. a hit dog will holler. Embwa ekubiddwa ejjinja ejja kuwuwuula.
He was around here. Why did you come here to the panel? So, I rather that we focus on serious matters of the party. You are very curious. You are very curious about DF. And we believe that being a younger party, for us, for the candidate must apologize to the nation. That please forgive us.
No one is asking you to apologize. This is you. Guilty conscious. You feel like you need to apologize. Go on and apologize. Nobody's asking you, please. Why do you think we've not had any person in the NUP officially pose abantu abawagizi atusu abane nyabo? Nesi ya kwe mutu agamba DFO kole minimu jayo etekeddwa okwetonda biki byayogera.
As we have a candidate in Masaka City. Please forgive us, we are going to Aru County. But you know for a fact that we founded NUP. We nominated over 300 candidates in a period of 3 months. Was that a crisis? Was that a miracle? I've been around for a while. And I have a fair...
Typical Mpuuga ateekeddwa okwewaana yeeyo wakabi byakoze yekka yabimanyi.
Understanding of what it takes to build an organization.
Before I let off Honorable Rubongoya.
Leave Rubongoya alone. He has nothing to say. He knows
he has something.
Bamugamba Rubongoya abadde amanyi Rubongoya agenze bamugamba nga tetunaba kumuta muleke tomuleeta.
To say we invite.
He should have come here to say it from here.
Unfortunately,
yandibadde ajja n'akyogerera wano eno.
there wasn't sufficient space, so we had
tewabadde ebbanga limala wa kutuula Rubongoya aseka Mpuuga ali mu katego.
So the next time you call a baraza, call him to be part of it and speak to him. Yes.
That he's just been told that there's no space. He's in the different studio NUP mu kizimbe kyekimu.
Space. Otherwise, there's no point in him hiding in the curtain.
He's just been told. He's not hiding in the curtain.
To say things he cannot defend publicly. So I'd rather...
What do you mean to say things he cannot defend publicly? He's actually with you on the same show.
You know him. But you see,
there is a sense...
Tayagala nno bawe Rubongoya muzindala amanye ekigenda okuddako akaaya namutunuulire.
That this whole nomination craze is opening old wounds.
Simon, let's go systematically.
Let's go systematic. Tomuleeta bannanga agenda kunjuza.
We are DF.
We are DF. Bagenda kuchunya.
The others are other parties. We have our turf.
It's funny he's been attacking NUP. The others are other parties.
But you're fishing
from...
Can you listen? You're fishing from...
Listen. Spawn. Please listen. We are a party. When we raise a flag, we raise an opportunity. We make...
You raise opportunity.
Calls. We raise our grand.
Mpuuga is an Mpuuga amalala twenkanya. Omusajja alina amalala. Galinga gange.
Our standpoint of view, we expose our ideology, we expose our approach. You ask any of these members here, they came from other parties. When we were founding the NUP, the Honorable Shabe was still finding place to hide his yellow garbs to join the NUP. We did not accuse him of running away from NRM to come to NUP. It was personal. It was a personal choice. So when people join the party, don't accuse them of running away from cases where they have no breath. So the DF has an obligation to incubate an ideology, to identify.
What ideology? He talks about this incubation of an ideology of the Democratic Front, Bajita. Tell us the ideology of the DF. Why are you not telling? I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you can go back and watch this show. Ofere yatandise okutuuka we yawedde Mpuuga teyatubwedde ku ideology ya DF. Zero. Like zero. Like wandi badolooza nti kino kibiina kipya kikyali kito. Kano ke kaseera ak'okukitunda kanyinyonnyole ideology yange nfunye mega platform NBS Frontline abantu kwe bali mu kaseera kano kwe kutunda ideology ya DF bagobe NUP. Show yonna yaweddeko nga Mpuuga tayogedde ku ideology to incubate. What incubation are you talking about?
Five capable people to join and
capable people like Mukaku, perpetual loser, perennial loser.
I've been around for a long time, which is why I know who.
He talks about I've been around for a long time. until Bobi Wine made me the president, the deputy president, and the leader of opposition.
Speak to in Busoga.
Well,
I don't speak to in Teso. I don't speak to in Acholi, in Lango. Actually, we have been approaching so many people. Some lined and chose to run as events. Others joined. We actually even declined people who were willing to join us. And that's a natural law.
Mr. Rubongoya.
Bas, ulira fire. Ulira mboko fire. Nada ulira.
Don't you find it rather amazing or rather intriguing that a new party has been able to make inroads across the country? And what does this mean for the grip that NUP has had as the leading opposition?
First of all, I think I need to respond to what has been said here. First of all, I did not want to, mention the Honorable Mpuuga here because as far as we are concerned, he's in the past. It is Honorable Donga Oto who brought up his name, and I was duty bound.
Ali mubyayita mwogeddeko nga bamulese, and rightly so. Aitaina we mwogeddeko tugende maaso
to respond, and he's just making innuendos, crazy innuendos. He has a case to answer before.
I want you, Lewis Rubongoya, look at the face of Mpuuga. Meltdown, complete, utter meltdown.
The people of Uganda about a service award that he gave to himself, when the national platform.
Look at that. Tamacha mogera kusabisa wadi. Yeso achi buli wagenda abayagino okujinjolako. Mutunulire banda ebogedde.
A service award that he gave to himself, when the national platform gave him an opportunity. And that is what caused him problems. I think that is something he needs to explain to the people of Uganda than make ridiculous claims about NUP and all that. If he has any evidence, let him bring it forth.
Exactly. Obujulizi buno bwali. Ladies and gentlemen, kangambe ko kino oyinza okuba toyagala kukiwulira naye kankigambe. Singa abeerawo obujulizi bwonna obulaga nti Bobi Wine ne Museveni bakolagana, obujulizi obwaddala, nfuuka opposition nga mvuganya Bobi Wine, mba nkuba Bobi Wine buli lunaku. Obujulizi bwonna nga bukakafu ddala, si bino byakwogera byeboogera bano Bampuuga byebabeeramu ebikatinga byali mu kwogera. Bonna agamba mbu alina obujulizi obw'obufere obugenda mu maaso mu NUP. Lwaki tayogera? Ataase bannansi. Lwaki akkiriza? Mukana akaseera lwaki takkiriza mbu amanye ebikyamu ebikolebwa naye sijja byogera. Singa obujulizi bwonna bwonna nga bujja abeera ataasa Bannayuganda. That's what David Lewis Rubongoya is saying. Okay, expose us. David Rubongoya alinga nga amwegayira agamba tulabise olina obujulizi lwaki totulabisa?
Just make those kinds of ridiculous allegations. But like I said, I wouldn't want to exchange with him because, Simon, what we're dealing with are very, very important matters of national importance. We have a nation to deliver from the
focus on Museveni.
The mess it finds itself in. General Museveni has mastered the art of,
Mpuuga akayana.
people, using all manner of people, and he does it.
Akayana bamugyeko muzidogo teguliko Mpuuga afa bamukubye kiboko.
Best when an election season comes along. He wants to create discord, confusion and all that, so that instead of focusing on him, you're focusing on his surrogates and all that. And we
Mpuuga surrogate wa Museveni.
don't want to be in that kind of situation. What I can say is a national
Mpuuga akaya natakiriza muntu kwogera owechi respect bimutabuseeko baba.
The platform is on course. The national platform is striving to change this country, and it will change this country. All we are asking the people of Uganda to trust us, and you can see it across the country. The pulse of the people can be felt everywhere, that the people of Uganda are saying that the national unity platform is the solution, is what is going to deliver them from the mess in which they find themselves.
Amaliriza ayogera kuchi Museveni.
Engage on your submissions. Honorable Semuju. Does the
Now, Semuju went on to make Mwerumba, Simanya, Twevuma opposition, nyini. Yamazo Budenga, ageza kukwabula NUP kuwani betekedwa okubeera ngewa card. Like the entitlement of these people. Tubeera mu constituency yange babeera banvuma mpulira abantu abanvuma tubeera twerumba ffe abali ku opposition yeye nyini nze mbakubanga nzaga bakadi mu NUP singa Seggirinya Samuwa walukagga tuteekeddwa kumwa. I don't listen to that nonsense, you know. Ye wawe bambuziza wano tugende wano.
The frontline, as we continue with our digest on what lies ahead after nominations, how the stage is setting up. Well, Honorable Rubongoya, there seems to be quite a number of issues emerging regarding trust, regarding discontent, that has actually forced a number of your erstwhile very steadfast supporters to shift base and join new camps. Do these things really worry the party?
Absolutely not. First of all, it is expected because when you go into contestation, you expect some people to win, others to lose. And people treat losses in different ways.
Exactly. So he's such an eloquent guy. Now, you can go on sagale no shebere mpanvu nnyo wale bambuziza ku bintu bya gundi namwanuka n'agamba that's utter ridiculousness. I really loved it. Ndoza waneno.
Jim Akena warmed up to Honorable Robert Chagulanyi, and I think that was significant.
I taught at Lera University for 2 years. I understand the feelings. I live predominantly in Acholi. For the North.
It's funny how these people usually pull out their CVs the moment they're questioned, always to want to prove a point. They completely ignore the new dynamics that might have emerged in their absence. Oh, I taught in Lira katika nkulage inze ntegera Lira okusinga abantu abalala bonna.
You will see NRM sweeping across. That is my prediction. I'll put my hands in.
Now, listen to this ridiculous.
I live predominantly in Acholi. For the North, you will see NRM sweeping across.
Now, you will see NRM sweeping across. You know, this is one deliberate, I believe so, demotivate people. Because Taina na chayogera kunkolagana ya Bobi Wine nakena can it influence? Are there ways he's tried to change these people? He was in Lira, Jasomesa Mulira University. Addayo kona yogera kubana okulabanga bakyuse ndowooza zaabwe. No. But I'm going to show you that I'm actually some sort of a clairvoyant guy. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Jateka omukono gwange. Jeez.
That is my prediction. I'll put my hands here. You'll come and cut it if you think I'm lying. Because as long as Besigye is in prison, there is no...
Can you cut it?
No.
We can give it to you back after election.
No, just a second. As long as Besigye is in prison and no one cares, he was bringing rhyme and rhythm and wave, all the elders have retreated. We now leave the young Turks like...
These people are living in the past. With all due respect to Dr. Kanuchiza Besigye. And I would say the same about Bobi Wine. There comes a time when a new leader has emerged. Living in the past is utter childishness. He's extremely nostalgia about the past. Hello, wake up here. Should we fight for the rights of Besigye to be released? Absolutely. And we've been doing so. And I use this platform over and over again to say Besigye should be granted his freedom. Unconditional release. Because we know Museveni is holding him in detention illegally. But that said, just like he's holding other NUP supporters illegally in detentions, many of them were arrested during 2000, many of them killed, disappeared, tortured, maimed. Others are still in prison with trumped-up charges. They should be granted their freedom right about now. But that said, I cannot ignore the momentum that Bobi Wine brings in this campaigning season. And to ignore that and be like, oh, all elders have retreated. We are leaving it to the young Turks. And now, because I'm this weak that I've given up, I'll tell you, NRM will win.
My good friend Bobi Wine, like the Rubongoyas, to drive people into a national campaign that should aim at changing President Museveni. Let me tell you, even the business Rubongoya is in is the business of getting more MPs so that they get more money. That is my reading of things.
You need to come in.
That's the problem is that usually they have these ridiculous claims they make. But when you ask them, then what are you doing? Okay, we hear you. This is your analysis on what Rubongoya and Bobby Wine are doing. So, what are you doing to bring about change in your country? Crickets, toina chowulira. Crickets zoka zoka.
Yeah, are you looking at this as an enterprise?
Just before he comes in, I have a client who was in a prison, Kitaria prison, for 103 days. He told me that there are over 560 NUP supporters locked in that prison. No files, no going to court, nothing.
But is he disturbed by the fact that over 500 people are being detained? Is he out there trying to fight for their rights? He's now blaming a political party that awakened their conscience to get actively involved in the affairs of their country. Like, do you see where he's directing his ire, his anger towards the NUP, an entity that told people it is your right to protest, it is your right to oppose the regime, it is your right to say we are not voting for Museveni.
Now, if the struggle can see prisons full of young activists and no one is talking to get them out, why would you encourage more?
Abera Monsichi, Odongo to. What part of Uganda do you live in? Do you live under the cave? No internet, no radio, no TV? Do you have even friends, or you live in a desert by yourself? No one is talking about political prisoners. No one is helping them to get their freedom.
People to get arrested. So it's a very risky business at this particular
Talking too much but saying nothing really. All he said is just complete hogwash.
moment. It's a very risky business at this particular moment. Yes, it's me.
Mr. Rubongoya, do you look at the opinion of Honorable Dongoto and others as something the National Unity Platform ought to contemplate on seriously?
Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous. You cannot, for example, start talking about
There's no better way to describe what was going on, what was coming out of his mouth, Odongoto. Ridiculous, ridiculous, ridiculous.
Political prisoners. I don't think there has been any political party in this country which has fought so hard about, political prisoners than the National Unity Platform. After the last election, we had over 4,000 people in detention in different prisons across the country. Now we're talking about less than 100.
He went on to explain how the NUP has been at the forefront of fighting for the release of the political prisoners. While many are still held in different prisons and probably torture chambers, many of them have been killed. He went on to explain that, hey, how about these folks talk about the system, not even the system, but a man who overrides the institutions of our country, that many of his surrogates, many of his loyalists abduct people, torture them, kill them, murder, disappear them. How about we put our focus on that system, on that man, instead of the victims? And like I read to you from this book, The Dictator's Handbook, that's the mission of Museveni. This guy. To make you shift attention from the perpetrators of evil to the victims. And you end up actually blaming the victims instead of the perpetrators of evil. Sad. What do you think? Gena Maso one came comment section. It is a really, really long video. I cannot do the entire thing. Let me show you here. NBS TV Uganda. Show your saw I just gave you a tip of the iceberg. It is a sight to behold, seeing what David Lewis Rubongoya was doing to a panel of what's the better way to describe these guys? People. What he did to them. It was chef's kiss. Anyways, my name is Mordecai Marisa. Until I see you again, bye-bye for now.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.